We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been bigger.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, technical, on-chain, and fundamental analysis. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about a very significant pattern on the Bitcoin chart that could be pushing Bitcoin well and truly farther into the bullish direction. Have the bulls managed to finally only be about one move away from checkmating the bears? That's what seems to be the play right now. Are we going to see the opponent, the bears, knock over their own king and give up? And are the bulls just going to go on a massive rally? Or are we going to see quite the opposite? Are we going to see the bears actually say, aha, you're a part of my gambit, and crash the market? I'm not sure where the chess analogies are coming from this morning, but nevertheless, Bitcoin right now is in a remarkably important and decisive moment in its history, and what it does here will dictate not only what it's going to be able to do over the next couple of weeks, but also over the next couple of months, and what the setup for the next bull market is going to look like. So there's a lot to jump into today that we're going to be covering on the Bitcoin charts. If you are excited, I want you to do a couple things for me. First and foremost, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We bring you Coffee and Crypto Live every single day. Make sure to hit that post notification bell so you won't miss a single stream. And I've also got something that I'm really excited to share with you relatively soon, because there's more things that are coming, not just the new website, not just Club DeFi's principles of technical analysis being relaunched. I've also got something else I'm working on that I'm hoping to show you guys even before the week is out. That's right. We've got all kinds of stuff coming. Get excited, guys. There's so many things that we're working on behind the scenes here for the YouTube channel. By the way, one of them is office hours. Something I didn't mention yesterday is for anybody who signs up for Principles of Technical Analysis, you're also going to be getting access to office hours, which are still live. I was doing them at 8:30 last night, from 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. I was doing office hours. We had about 5 people in there from the old Club DeFi. I continued doing office hours even after I shut down all the memberships, just so that I could provide something, since the courses themselves weren't up. But if you sign up for Principles of Technical Analysis over in Club DeFi, you're also going to be getting access to those office hours. More details to come on that, but they happen Monday, 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. every single weekday. Every single Monday. Let me be more clear on that. Every single Monday, and they were a lot of fun. If Daz Meekin's here in chat, he was there last night, he can tell you how much fun we had. All right, let's go ahead and read some chat. We got Mike Lowry in the chat. First green name, first blue name, and first chatter today. Got the triple whammy. Good to see you, Mike Lowry. We got Queen in chat here as well. We got Grand Roofing Incorporated here as well today. Good morning, Jebb. Good morning, everyone. Hashtag FinSolve. I love to see it. That is wonderful. We got Oh My JVR, Oleg, Smiles. Hello, Smiles. We got Jeremy Shorter. Skipping down here a little bit, we got green names in chat. We got a lot of green names, but we also have the green names in chat. So we got green names saying good afternoon from the United Kingdom. Let's see. I got a really funny chat here that I would love to answer. GB said, love the content, but how hard could it be to fix the black nothingness intro? Surprisingly easy. It's actually not that complicated. It's something maybe I should move up my priority list. There's a lot of things I'm working on right now. Getting the website launched and getting Club DeFi launched were the big ones that I've been working on for the last little while. The next thing I'm working on is actually bringing back afternoon content. I would like to start bringing back afternoon videos, but in a little bit of a different way this time. They're probably not going to be 5 to 7 days a week. They're probably going to be less frequent, but I'm going to put a lot more work into the production of them so that they're really well polished. I'm shooting for maybe doing about 3 to 4, maybe 2 to 3 a week. I'm going to start off by maybe doing about 1 a week. So I'm going to be working on that. Hopefully, if all works out, my schedule's been all over the place lately, but if it all works out, I'm going to be working on that this afternoon, hopefully shooting something for you guys that would be up in the next week. So make sure you stay tuned for that. That's the next thing I'm working on. But yes, I do want to get that black nothingness intro fixed. I do know how to fix it, and it is something that I can put together pretty simply. I just want to make sure that I'm bringing you guys best content however I can. All right, let's see. We've got Justin Eubanks in chat as well. A lot of people in chat. Everybody in chat calling me the Jebbosaurus. Hello. I feel like we're getting invaded. I love the car videos, Pastor Jebb. Yep, hoping to bring back some of those as well. Jonathan Martin said, morning, Jebb. You demand. JMDP said, hey, Jebb, hello. Josh Hobbs said, hashtag FinSov. If we join CT2A, do we get access to Club DeFi? Great question. So that's one that I'm probably going to get that question a lot, so I'll go ahead and let you know. If you join CT2A, you are going to be getting a default 25% discount on principles of technical analysis over in Club DeFi. All you have to do is show us that you were a member of CT2A either by forwarding us the receipt or sharing with us the email that you signed up for CT2A with, or showing us any kind of proof of purchase, and we will generate for you a special one-time 25% off coupon code. All you got to do, email us support@cryptojebb.com. We will get that coupon code made for you, and then you can plug it in at checkout for Principles of Technical Analysis, and you'll get $100 off because Principles of Trading is $3.99 right now, but with the 25% off, it'll be $2.99. So there you go. I want to make sure that we are rewarding everybody who was wonderful enough to join CT2A in the beginning, because thank you to the 5,000 people that went through CT2A. But Principles of Technical Analysis, I think, has even more content. It literally has even more content than CT2A ever did, and it covers a lot of things that CT2A never had. So really excited for that. Let's go ahead and jump straight on into our technical analysis. The very first thing that I want to go ahead and talk about here is none other than Bitcoin over on CoinMarketCap. As you can see, Bitcoin is currently trading at $24,545, exactly $4,000 to the dollar from a level that we're looking at as a major level of resistance, which is $28,545. If you'll recall, $28,545 is one of the big levels that we're looking for right now. I do very much believe that that level is going to play heavily into the way that Bitcoin moves over the next several weeks and and months, because that is, in my opinion, kind of the level that we need to break through to really decide that, okay, we're going into a bull market. That's where I really want to see Bitcoin breaking, and then I can sit back and say, all right, you know what? It looks like we're actually moving into bull market territory. So let's go ahead and look at CoinMarketCap a little bit more. Then we'll jump into our technical analysis, and I'll explain to you why. On Bitcoin, we're looking at a 50% rally over the last 90 days, a 48.25% rally year to date. Ethereum's up 40% year to date, up 45% over the last 90 days, but both of these assets are down a little bit over the last 24 hours. Tether is sitting up here with $70 billion in market capitalization. That is the highest level I believe I have ever seen it at. Maybe, I think it's been a little bit higher before, but that is sitting well and truly in this kind of all-time high territory. It was back up here at about $83 billion back during the last bull market, but that's the highest it's been for a very long time. We tried to get up there pre-FTX, but the amount of money sitting in that stablecoin right now is the highest that it has been ever since June of last year, and that was moving to the downside. That was not moving up, that was moving down. So, and by the way, if you want to look at the true value of Tether, or a stablecoin, you don't look at the price because obviously it's stable. You come to CoinMarketCap, you scroll down, and you hit this button right here called market capitalization. You can see how much of it is minted. That's really what you're looking for, is the circulating supply of the stablecoin, which should also match its market capitalization because, of course, it's a stablecoin. That's kind of the way it works. Anyway, moving right along here, I also want to bring to your attention Binance USD. You can see BUSD is still sitting here in the top 10, even after the major attack that the SEC brought against it that led to Paxos shutting down the minting of new Binance USD, and the chief executive officer of Binance pretty much distancing himself from BUSD, saying, hey, look, hey, hang on a second, that's not us. That's we just let Paxos use our brand. That was a little bit of hogwash, in my opinion. Binance has profited quite significantly from having one of the largest stablecoins bear its name on it, but nevertheless, if we come to the market capitalization charts, you can see that it has lost a substantial amount of its value. It was sitting at $23 billion in market capitalization over the last not that long ago. Even right before the FTX crash, we saw $23 billion of it in circulating supply. We saw this stablecoin grow quite significantly during the last bull market, and also we saw it grow quite significantly over the bear market as Binance fared much better than many of the other exchanges in the crypto space. But then we started losing quite a lot of market capitalization post-FTX because people took their money out of this stablecoin because they wanted to ensure that their money was in a stablecoin that was not tied to an exchange that could undergo some kind of liquidity crisis and, frankly, horrible management crisis, such as what happened to FTX. So the amount of market capitalization in it had already dwindled down to 16 billion. Then we saw that fateful news about a week and a half ago that Paxos would no longer mint it, which basically was the death sentence. And we've seen BUSD dwindle from $16 billion in market cap all the way down to 12.54. It's lost nearly 25% of its market capitalization after it had already lost about 40%. So it's down substantially market capitalization wise. Make no mistake, it being pegged to $1 is a good thing, but it's likely going to die as a stablecoin within just months, if not even sooner. Now, there is one thing I want to show you, and that would be the market dominance charts over on Bitcoin. If we scroll down here, we can see the market dominance charts. The main thing I want to show you is Bitcoin and Ethereum and how they're moving against each other. And then I also want to show you the way the stable coins are moving right now. So take a look here. We started our major rally at the beginning of January. We saw that Bitcoin began going into a major market upheaval. Right around here, the market was trading at around $16,000 to $17,000, and then moving on back to coin market cap, you can see that around the time that we around that time, Bitcoin was sitting just above 39% on market dominance. It rallied all the way up to nearly 43%, and it's currently sitting at 42%. Whereas Ethereum has basically set stagnant. It was at 1906, now it's at 18.51. So what that means is that Bitcoin has actually managed to gobble up quite a bit of market dominance from where? Well, from different altcoins. One of them being, some of them being things like Dogecoin, some of them being things like Polygon, but a lot of it also coming from the likes of Binance USD. You can see right here, if I just color all of them out, right around the time that Bitcoin had been gaining, Binance US dollar has been losing a lot of market dominance. There's a few other places that it's come from, but interestingly, Ethereum hasn't lost a whole lot. It's lost a little bit, and a lot of that's gone into Bitcoin, but others has actually increased. So we've seen the others category here and Bitcoin go up at the same time. That's pretty shocking for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's surprising to me that you would see the others category doing so well in the midst of a bear market or at least an accumulation phase beginning of bull market territory. The others category is normally very speculative. So if people are pouring market dominance into everything outside of the top 10, that implies a couple of things. One, it implies confidence in this space, but two, it also implies that the people that were in those altcoins, maybe they left for a time, but maybe they didn't leave for good. Maybe they've just been sitting on the sidelines in those stable coins that have been continuing to increase in their market capitalization, and they were just waiting for some kind of confident movement before they could dump back into their favorite cryptocurrency, whether it be, you know, Paxos or anything, you know, not just Paxos, but taking it out of like Paxos's stablecoin, dumping it into any kind of other cryptocurrency like Solana. Solana's a big one in there. It's gained a lot of market capitalization. It's sitting at 11. That's helped that a lot. We're looking at things like Avalanche, Uniswap, Chainlink, definitely a big one there. Monero, a lot of these altcoins have done very, very well. Filecoin up 150% year to date. HBAR, Hedera up 120%, Aptos up 280%. Some of these altcoins, Phantom blowing up, Decentraland's up 134%. We're witnessing right now a resurgence in the altcoin space like we have not seen in well over a year. People are getting ready to party like it's August of 2021 or like it's let's see, October of 2020. Like they're getting ready for that. So that's the one thing I want to show you, is that the others category is doing very well. But the other thing I want to show you is that since Bitcoin's doing very well, that means that Bitcoin is able to give the confidence back to the space that the space needs to go into a big rally, because Bitcoin is leading. Bitcoin's doing exceptionally well, so it's able to shed some of that confidence onto the rest of the space. Now, another thing I want to show you here before we get onto the charts are the stable coins. Now, there is an issue right now with the stablecoin BUSD and also with USDC coin, but take a look at this. Just take a look at this. Look at what the stablecoins were doing pre-FTX meltdown. Remember, FTX capitulated on election day. It was 11/08/2022. This is basically where the cryptocurrency exchange FTX imploded upon itself. Binance thought for a second about buying it, looked at their books for about 3 femtoseconds, and then said, nope, we're definitely not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. What happened? Well, very briefly, everybody sold their cryptocurrencies and boom, went straight into stablecoins. You can see the stablecoins, if you were to combine all of these numbers, went from about 11 to maybe 12% market dominance to within a day, like literally a day, went to almost 15 to 16%. Market dominance across these stablecoins jumped in a day to 2 days by almost 5 to 6%. People cashed out so fast into Bitcoin and also into the stablecoins. Now, if you look at these stablecoins, their market capitalizations didn't actually change all that much. So not only did people cash out into stablecoins, they also caused the stablecoins market dominance to rally because the stablecoins just stayed stable in the market capitalization sense, and they pulled that money straight out of the cryptocurrency space, and whether it's going to come back or has come back, God only knows. But during that time, that was the peak for the market dominance of 2 of the 3 cryptocurrencies, of 2 of the 3 altcoins here in the last year and change. USD Coin had more back around June, but Binance USD and Tether hit their all-time highs, more or less, or at least their local highs, in market dominance. Even looking at the all category, you can see these are basically the all-time highs. This is basically the golden era of stablecoins. And ever since then, we've been seeing a major capitulation in market dominance from the stablecoins. Why? Well, because Bitcoin's been doing so well. People are no longer sitting in stablecoins. They're starting to get back into the market, and that's the thing I really want to bring to your attention, is that people are gradually rotating themselves right back into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, and that's something that's very exciting because that means that we are having more attention, more liquidity, more volume, more buy pressure, more excitement, more FOMO, more enthusiasm, whatever word you want to use, poured right back into the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. And that's really what we need to see. We need to see a mass psychological shift in mindset take place so that people will be more willing to go ahead and buy Bitcoin, to go ahead and buy Ethereum, to go ahead and buy whatever cryptocurrency it is that they're talking about. If you look into the Bitcoin Academy or into Club Defi, and you take a look over here in Principles of Technical Analysis, right here, this video, Mass Psychology, it's the 11th video in here. It's 6 minutes long, very concise video, but that's one of the things we talk about. We're talking about that continuation of enthusiasm. We want to see people excited. We want to see people not FOMOing necessarily, but when people FOMO, obviously it's normally a bullish thing. We don't want people to FOMO, but it's a natural phenomenon. It's like you don't want hurricanes, but they happen, so you might as well study them. Whenever people FOMO, it ends up driving the market to the upside. And what we're seeing right now is a lot of reasons for people to FOMO and a lot of people that are FOMOing. And that is kind of something that is going to set the stage for today's technical analysis. Because today, what I want to show you is a major pattern that I do believe is going to lead Bitcoin to a large breakout within the next week. I think there is a greater than not percentage chance that Bitcoin has a large breakout bullish within the next 7 days. Let me show you what it is. It's very, very simple. If we just go ahead and clean our chart here as much as we can, you can maybe even spot it. One of the other things we talk about in Principles of Technical Analysis is this. Talk about it. It's called chart vision is one of the things I call it. Intuition is another thing. Maybe you can just look at a chart like I can and like you probably can after you've spent several years in the cryptocurrency space, and you can just look at the chart and you say, I can see that. I can see something. It's just jumping out at me. Is there anything jumping out at you about this chart right now? What jumps out at me is that there's an uptrend right here. Literally, it just clicks. I can just see it. You can probably see it too. I'm not saying there's anything special about what I'm doing. It's normally pretty easy to see that kind of thing. And if you didn't see it, don't beat yourself up. You might, it's something to continue growing in. But sometimes you can just look at a chart. And to be honest with you, a lot of times when I'm doing technical analysis, if I'm not on camera, I'm not even actually drawing stuff. I'm just kind of looking at it and I can see it. Okay, like boom, here. I did not pre-analyze this. I'm just looking at Solana. There is a descending triangle pattern that is acting as a bull flag right here. Why? The market's uptrending right there. There's a general, anyway, downtrend right there, and then there's a flat level of support right there. If I draw all of that out, I guess I got my southern drawl, excuse me. If I draw all of that out, then you can see that there's a descending triangle pattern with a bull flag. Then if I'm going to go ahead and just predict what the local high it would be pointing to is, I'm going to turn off log. It's going to point us to right about here, probably $27. Just go ahead and extrapolate that. And then boom, $27, $28. That's what I'm talking about. You can get to that point where it's just intuitive. And then you can also look here. You can say, okay, $27, $28. What does that correspond with? Oh, wow, look at that. That's a local bottom that we set on Solana back over here before FTX imploded and Solana lost a lot of its fundamental backing. That's how you can just kind of look at a chart and you can just understand what it is saying to you after you've done this for long enough. And that's the kind of thing that we're teaching over here. So make sure to check out Club DeFi with the link in the description box down below. Anyway, moving right back onto Bitcoin, this ascending triangle pattern is very important for a multitude of reasons. I broke down in yesterday's live stream, and I've talked about this quite extensively recently, all the different reasons why I believe that Bitcoin is in an extremely bullish setup that will likely lead us into a bull market if we get some confirmations and if we don't see, and this is a big if, we don't see some major black swans take place on the geopolitical and macro stage that just throw everything off. If you see DCG go bankrupt, or you see, I don't know, Sam Bankman-Fried get freed, if you will, or you see Russia launch a nuke on Ukraine, or China invades Taiwan, or the effective federal funds rate starts going back up to 75 basis point rate hikes. I don't know why that would happen, but you just make something up. If the black swan event takes place, then fine. But if things continue as they are, I think Bitcoin is moving into bull market setup territory. And everything that we talked about yesterday should serve as a backdrop and a setup for what I'm going to talk about today, and that is that Bitcoin is in very prime territory to move on its next leg up to $28,000. Now, there is one caveat to this before I explain why, and that is that Bitcoin has already taken 1, 2, 3 movements, had a very bullish first leg, had a relatively bearish second leg, that being the first corrective wave, then it's had the second primary wave, and now it could either continue that primary wave about as far as the first primary wave did, which if you can see here, if we just extrapolate, it would end up being almost the exact same size rally as the one we just did, which is not necessarily impossible, although it would be difficult. Bitcoin could do that, or Bitcoin could have a secondary movement, a second as in dose, secondary movement, which would be a counter trend. It would be going against the general uptrend, and then we could have our third primary movement to the upside right here. So these are the two scenarios I see for Bitcoin playing out over the next couple of weeks. I think either one, because of the technical chart formation we're going to show you here in a second, the ascending triangle pattern, we're about to break to $28,545 within just days. Or, and this is also possible, and this is decently likely, Bitcoin could go through a larger correction, and it could break all the way back down to give it about $22,500 to $23,000 in support, and then bounce and rally. We're going to analyze both of those scenarios. I think one is slightly more likely than the other, and then we'll kind of wrap out with a conclusion about where we think Bitcoin will go. All right. Let's go ahead and look here. As I said, Bitcoin is moving in waves right now. To kind of explain this, we actually talk about this in CT2. Sorry, I'm so used to saying CT2A over the years. In Club DeFi as well. When we talk about continuation, and we talk about the patterns and everything that Bitcoin moves through in Club DeFi, but essentially, there's this idea called Elliot wave, and this is the Elliot wave theory, and you can draw these on your chart, and I'll show you in a second, but you have your primary waves and you have your secondary waves. People call them different things. This is what I call them. You have your primary, your secondary, and your tertiary waves. The primary wave, or movement, is the movement that's moving in the direction of the general trend. So if you're moving bullish, the primary movement is going to help you move to the upside. If you're moving bullish in the general trend, then your secondary movement is going to be anything that goes against that. You might call it a counter trend. So if you're generally moving to the upside, let's call it a bull market, and then you have a large correction, we're going to call that a secondary movement because it is a second order movement. It is moving in an opposite direction of the first order movement. And normally when you're going through a big rally, it's not uncommon to see something take place like this, where you'll see one movement to the upside, then a second movement to the downside, then a third movement to the upside, then a fourth movement to the downside, then a fifth movement to the upside, and then that's where you'll end up ending the trend, and you'll have a larger correction after all of that takes place. It is also possible, and this is normally a corrective movement. This is normally a corrective wave, again, so keep in mind this might not be exactly following the exact theory, but I've also seen this take place. Sometimes you can have an A, B, C, where you only have the B correction, but the A and the C move to the upside, and you don't have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason that you could argue that that's taking place is because you could argue right now that Bitcoin's rally is actually an Elliott wave correction against the primary trend, which is moving to the downside. So there's two different ways you can look at this. Either one, you can look at us going through an ABC corrective wave through the Elliott wave theory, which would push us up to probably about $28,500. Or, and that corrective wave would be against the primary movement right here. So this would be a second, and this would actually be a tertiary movement, and this would be a secondary movement. Or you could argue that this is a brand new trend and this downtrend is over. I'm more likely to argue that. And in that case, you would say 1, 2, 3, then a fourth impulse wave correction movement to the downside, then a fifth order movement to the upside. Either way, whichever one of these market movements types play out, Bitcoin is very likely to see a major rally all the way up through another movement to the upside within just the next couple of months. So that's kind of our setup. What's more likely? Let's go ahead and look down here on the 4-hourly chart. I believe that there is a lot of reasons to think that Bitcoin could break bullish above $25,000 relatively soon. While on the daily chart, I look at this and I say, it would actually make a lot more sense if Bitcoin had a little bit of a correction first down to 23,000 and then break to the upside. But then I look at the 4-hourly chart and the hourly chart, and I look at the way that this market is moving, and we are testing this level of resistance at $25,000 over and over and over and over and over again. We've also gone through two major rallies. The rally at the beginning of January, and also this rally that we just went through relatively recently, which you can see right here. We broke all the way from $21,800 all the way to over $25,000. We added in grand total nearly $4,000 in market capital in price on Bitcoin within the span of just 4 days. So that, coupled with the fact that there are plenty of fundamental reasons why Bitcoin should be having a hard time right now, and the bulls are brushing them off because they are confident in the fundamentals, that gives me a lot of reason to believe that, look, the FOMO in this space, while I'm not advocating for FOMO, it is a real thing, could end up driving Bitcoin straight through $25,236 all the way up to $28,545 on its own. Where do I get precedence for that? Well, all the time. Whenever Bitcoin is starting a massive bull market and people kind of catch that bullish FUD, that bullish FOMO, and they realize, look, we're moving to the upside. We're moving to the upside fast. You kind of throw out a lot of that Elliot wave idea about you're supposed to have a wave 1 to the upside, wave 2 to the downside, wave 3 to the upside, wave 4 to the downside. You kind of just go parabolic. And that's what we saw happen here at the beginning of 2021 and the end of 2020. We saw the market just go parabolic. It kind of threw technical analysis out the window, except for when we were looking at $20,000. Of course, we tested that for a while. Everybody was thinking, oh, will it, won't it? And then it did, and then we just went parabolic again. Similar thing happened over here at the beginning of the bull market in quarter 2 of 2019, where we saw the April Fool's rally. Bitcoin added 25% to its price in a day, or 20% to its price in a day. Excuse me, I was here for this, but it has been, I don't know, 4 years. It added 18 to 20% in just a day. Then we saw Bitcoin just rally and move straight to the upside. I remember I was live streaming right here, and I was live the moment we hit this local high, and I told everybody, guys, I know this is exciting. I know Bitcoin's moving very fast, but if you notice, Bitcoin has been moving to the upside with no correction for over 135 days. It's going to have to correct sometime soon, so be very careful. Then, almost exactly as I was saying that, Bitcoin started a correction, and everybody was like, crap, I should have listened. And I said, yeah, I didn't want to burst your bubble because we were parabolic, but eventually Bitcoin's got to correct. And so that's what it ended up doing. It ended up going through that correction. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, and that's where the technical analysis comes in. Are we sitting at this point in the rally where, guys, we're overextended, take a breather, or are we sitting right here? To be honest with you, it really feels like the market's sitting right here. This is only 74% to the upside. This, just to put in context, this rally to the top right here was 320%, 141 days just after a bear market. So that's why I was telling everybody, yo, calm down a little bit, because if we rallied 340%, we'd be back over all-time high. That's the kind of rally that we were looking at that time. Right now, what this feels a lot more like is that we're probably about halfway through the major rally before we have some kind of big 2 to 3 month correction. I could see Bitcoin going and doing something like this, where it rallies to $30 or $35 or $40,000 and then corrects straight through the summer. And we have a summer-long correction where we move sideways. That sounds like summer school, summer-long correction. We have summer school for Bitcoin. It's being corrected the entire summer, and it moves to the downside, and it is really sad because it doesn't get to go out and play on the lake with his friends. And it moves to the downside for 3 months, and then it bounces somewhere and it continues rallying. I'm really just not totally convinced that this is the top just yet, even though a lot of things technically, such as what I just said, the fact that it's 50% up, should argue that it is. Now, looking at this chart formation, this is an ascending triangle pattern. Ascending triangle patterns do have a 70% likelihood of breaking to the upside, and whenever we see a triangle formation form right after a major rally like this, those also have a 70% chance of breaking to the upside. So statistically speaking, we are extremely likely to break to the upside right now and move where exactly to our price target, 28,545. If you want to see how I did that, you can find out in the principles of technical analysis, but I'll also be more than happy to tell you. Essentially, all you do is you draw a flagpole right here, which represents the size of the rally right before we went into the pattern, this being called an ascending triangle pattern, pennant pattern. Pennant is just a fancy word for triangle. If you look at the flag of Nepal, it's a pennant. So feel free to Google that. The flag of Nepal is a pennant, and it should give you an idea of what I mean by a pennant on a flagpole. If you move the Nepali flag up on a flagpole, it would look a lot like this. So what you do is you just essentially take this flagpole, extrapolate it from basically right where you start the breakout. So if we were to start moving up right here, we would set it right here. If we start moving up right here, then we would instead move the flagpole to right there. And then that's going to give you your price target. As you can see, 28,545 is a well-established level of resistance that we're going to end up running into almost certainly. That level of resistance is one that I'm eyeing very closely. And this ascending triangle pattern gives us that price target. Now, there is also the other likelihood that Bitcoin could break bearish here out of this pennant pattern, have a major correction right down here, bounce, rally, and then try again towards mid to late March. But let's go ahead and do some analysis on the hourly chart to see what's more likely. On the hourly chart right now, there's a couple things on Lux Algo that are bringing quite a bit of excitement. If you don't have Lux Algo, you're missing out. You should get Lux Algo. You can use the link in the description box down below. Use coupon code Jebb, J-E-B-B, for 20% off at checkout. You will see over the next 5 minutes as I show you Lux Algo why it is something that you want to add to your toolbox. Right now, we have what's known as a strong buy signal. Now, if you are new to Lux Algo, I want you to do a couple things. Ignore these 4 signals. I'll tell you why later. Ignore this one too, and focus right here on this signal. This signal is called a strong buy signal, and it is confirmed by trend catcher being green. This right here, this is called the trend catcher. Trend catcher is one of the things that we use to confirm whether these buy and sell, strong and weak buy and sell signals are confirmed. Right now, this buy signal is confirmed. The next thing I want to show you is another part of Lux Algo, which sits right here in the center. This is called the EQ cloud. The EQ cloud is pretty significant because it shows you whenever the market is moving bullish or bearish, and it also shows you where you will find some support. Right now, Bitcoin is finding support on the bottom of the EQ cloud. It's also finding support on this uptrend, and it's also finding support here on the bottom of the EQ cloud. And this uptrending level of support is what I meant to say. So if finding support in those regions is pretty nice because it shows us that Lux Algo is giving us a lot of support. On top of that, Bitcoin's Lux Algo's reversal zone, the bullish one and the bearish one are both curved to the upside, and they have been for the last couple of days. You can see the general trend of the reversal zone is moving to the upside. It's not perfect because the market is actually doing a lot of sideways trading right now as it finishes out this pattern, but at the moment we're sitting down here and bottoming out on the bottom of the ascending triangle pattern and testing the uptrending level of support. If we bounce there, come up and retest 25K, we'll probably end up having the exuberance to break bullish here. Then you would have something called a short squeeze take place, and you'd likely see a lot of buy pressure come in, and you would see the market shoot straight up to probably $26,000 or beyond, and that's where Lux Algo would really come in and confirm a lot of that. But that's not the only thing that we're going to look at here. We can also look at the 4-hourly chart with Lux Algo, and we'll get some pretty exciting details. Let's go ahead and bring Lux Algo back. I accidentally took it off the chart there for a second. You can see that Lux Algo is currently under a buy signal. Now, remember how I said that to ignore those other signals for just a second? Well, I'm going to show you why right now. Right now, Bitcoin is under a buy signal, but you can safely ignore these two. The reason is that we only look at buy signals, or at least I only do. This isn't built into Lux Algo. This is just a strategy that I use that has been endorsed by the creator of Lux Algo, Sean. He's a friend of mine, and he told me that this is a great strategy using his indicator. So basically what I do is I look at the buy signal or the sell signal, and I look to see if there is an immediate trend catcher confirmation of that. So right here we saw a buy signal. We saw a trend catcher turn green on this candlestick. Literally, if we just hit the replay button, we could turn it to right here. I'm not sure if Lux Algo will actually print. I'm not sure if any technical indicator will print. I will. Excuse me. So we can go ahead and put that next candlestick right here. You could see we had confirmation from Lux Algo. We had the buy signal back here. Then we had the trend catcher turn green. We also were about to break through the top side of the EQ cloud. Even though the EQ cloud was extremely bearish, even though the reversal zones were extremely bearish, we did, however, see a confirmed buy signal, and that was enough for us to say, okay, I think Bitcoin's going to do very well. If you're watching the market here at 7 a.m. last Wednesday, then you would have been able to catch that, move all the way to the upside, and you can see we ended up moving very far based on data that we had available right here on this candlestick. Literally everything past this candlestick was what was confirmed by what happened before this candlestick. That's the exciting thing about Lux Algo. Now, what I also want to show you is that you can weed out some of these signals. These signals up here, as I said, and by drawing the X's through them, are not confirmed. Why? Well, this sell signal never had trend catcher confirmation, which meant that this strong sell signal was just a repeat of that buy signal back there. Nothing that I am too worried about showing you as far as nothing that we're too worried about because it's already basically taken place. So what's going to happen here? Well, I'll tell you what. I think that there is a strong likelihood that Bitcoin's going to break bullish here because of the strong buy signal that is currently in play on the 4-hourly chart and also the buy signal that is in play on the hourly chart. But it's not just that. I also see quite a lot of setup here so long as Bitcoin doesn't fall below this uptrend and fall down to 23.5. If it does that, yeah, we're probably moving to the downside. But if it doesn't do that and it stays above this uptrend, basically not falling too much further than it is right now, and it bounces here, then I think Bitcoin is going to end up going through that uptrend because we have the uptrending buy signal here on the 4-hourly chart. We have the uptrending reversal zones. We have EQ cloud that's very bullish right now on 4-hourly chart. And even out on daily chart, we have another buy signal that came into play. Now, this one was just a repeat of this because this buy signal was confirmed right here, which meant that this sell signal never being confirmed invalidated this buy signal. But having the buy signal here, even though we didn't need it, is nice because it reconfirms that we're in a strong uptrend. You can see by the green candlestick coloring here that we're in very strong uptrend territory. And we also have the EQ cloud moving to the upside very quickly as the reversal zones are continuing to, they're flattening out a little bit, but continuing in general to move to the upside. All in all, I'm quite excited about where Bitcoin stands right now based on Lux Algo, based on the market cycles and the fact that we're getting closer to the halving. It's only about a year away now. Based on the fact that Bitcoin has responded very well to the effective federal funds rate news of us only seeing 25 basis point rate hikes now, based on the fact that CPI did drop and only dropped by 0.1% last month on Valentine's Day when that came out. But it was by something, and people seem to have responded well to that. And so now Bitcoin's doing very well. Total market capitalization, Ethereum are doing quite well. I think there is a strong likelihood that Bitcoin will be able to break 25K within just the next 2 days. If, however, that does not happen. And that is also a very strong possibility. I'd give it like a 60-40% likelihood, by the way. We're kind of split down the middle, but maybe 65-35%, 60 to 65% likelihood we'll break bullish, 30 to 35, maybe 40% likelihood we break to the downside, and then retest the resistance and re-break it in March, a month later. I do still think it's more likely than not that we'll break bullish in the next 2 to 7 days. But if we don't do that, then we'll probably see a correction over the next 2 weeks, and then we'll see us break that resistance level probably by the end of March, if not moving into April 1st. Maybe we'll see an April Fool's rally, but I doubt it would take that long. I think we would see a breakthrough resistance by the end of March. All right, we're going to go a few minutes over because I did start a few minutes late. I do apologize for that, but if you guys are enjoying today's stream, I want you to do a few things for me. It would be very appreciated. Hit that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 400 likes. We've got 700 people watching right now. Thank you so very much for tuning in. And what I want to do before we wrap it out here, because we're going to go a little bit further, I want you guys to go ahead and tell me what altcoin you would like to see some 2-minute technicals on. If you guys are familiar, 2-minute technicals is something that I like to do where I look at a chart, and it doesn't matter whether I've seen the chart before at all or not, but I just get to say, boom, I got 2 minutes, put 2 minutes on the clock, and then I can kind of see how much I can get done in that 2 minutes and see if I can draw a conclusion within 2 minutes. So I'm going to do that with one single technical, with one single chart. And you guys can let me know what you think. By the way, all that technical analysis that we just did, that's just scratching the surface. I really hope you guys enjoy technical analysis. It's so very important. If you want to learn more about technical analysis, the best place to go is to the first link in the description box down below and sign up for Club Defi. You can go to cryptojebb.com and then you can hit any of the different buttons there. Let me just go ahead and see if I can... you can hit any of the different buttons there. You can also go to our Twitter post and you can sign up for the Principles of Technical Analysis. Again, Principles of Technical Analysis is the first course that we're launching over here on Club Defi. There will be many more courses. I've got at least 4 more courses that I would like to launch before the end of the year. Now, that's not a guarantee. I want to be very clear on that. There's a lot going on. We have a baby coming. There's a lot happening personally as well, and I can't guarantee that we'll have 5 Club DeFi courses launched by the end of the year, but I'd like to get more than what we have just now, being Principles of Technical Analysis. And there's a few more updates I want to do to Principles of Technical Analysis, but I'm just so excited to share with you guys that Club DeFi has finally launched. If you guys don't know what Club DeFi is, this is the place where I pour my heart and soul and my mind and my strength and everything into teaching you guys everything that I know about technical analysis. If you don't know my story, I've been doing technical analysis on cryptocurrency markets since I was 16 years old. I'll be turning 23 this year. I started when I was a a high school kid. I was a senior in high school. I was about to go into 12th grade in my bedroom, grew up with not a whole lot, and I wanted to make something for myself and take care of my family and help out my family and my friends and my community. And so I decided to start a YouTube channel, and also I decided to start a YouTube channel documenting my journey in the cryptocurrency space. I've been doing charting every single day ever since, and I love it. It is so much fun. It is somewhere I can just go, and it's like a passion. It's a craft for me, and I can really just dive into charts and get an idea of what they're going to do next. And that's what technical analysis is. It's looking at charts and understanding what they're going to do next so that you can make some kind of profitable prediction and then hopefully some kind of profitable trade based on them. In those years, I've helped teach nearly 7,000 students how to do technical analysis in the different courses that we've had active, and that's what Club Defi is. It's the place where I can teach you guys everything that you want and need to know about a certain subject. The first one that is active is the principles of technical analysis. I'm going to pour everything I can into teaching you guys about technical analysis in this product. There are 62 videos in here that's going to teach you everything from the very beginning to the very most advanced that I have to offer for you in the realm of technical analysis. We talk about all of the different candlestick formations. We talk about the psychology of candlesticks. We talk about things like Elliot waves. Right here, boom, that video covers the Elliot waves that we talk about today. We talk about RSI MACD. I do actually want to put a video in here somewhere on Lux Algo. That's actually not in here right now, but I'd like to do that. We also have our different pennants. You have our pennants right here and our chart formations. Those chart formations are going to show you some of the things that we just talked about today with rising ascending triangle patterns. So that's really exciting. We have our continuation. We have our reversal. We have our other charts. We have mass psychology. Other charts is where you're going to find things like Heikin-Ashi. Mass psychology, that's going to teach you about the way that people think and the impact that it has on the cryptocurrency space. We're also going to talk here about intrinsic value and the intrinsic value versus price. This is an idea that I have that I think drives most of technical analysis, and that is the difference between the intrinsic value and the price of the cryptocurrency space, of the cryptocurrency market you're looking at. That's something that I call the IVG, the intrinsic value gap. If Bitcoin really should be trading at 40K, but is trading at 26K, there's a $14,000 IVG to the upside, and then that means that Bitcoin likely is going to move to the upside because people in their minds are valuing it higher than where it is right now. I think that's one of the bases of technical analysis. That's one of the things we're going to start off by teaching you here in Club DeFi's principles of technical analysis. So make sure to check it out. Go to cryptojebb.com. You can find the link down below. You can go to our website right here, scroll down, hit enroll now, or you can scroll down here and go to principles of technical analysis, hit enroll now. Principles of trading and principles of on-chain will be coming soon. They're not active just yet, but principles of TA is live. Make sure to check us out, cryptojebb.com. Boom. Let's read chat here because we got a lot of people asking for a lot of different altcoins. Let's see. There's a lot of them. There is a lot of them. Let me catch up with chat a little bit first, and then we'll look at this at the I was about to say super chats. Yeah. Joshua19 is the encouragement for the day. Smash the like button, folks, and give some love to Jebb for all his hard works. God bless. Joshua19, do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That is a good one. That's not the exact quote. Let me pull that up really quickly here and read that to you guys. That is one of the first power verses that everybody memorizes just after the law is finished. Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Amen. It's a good one. All right. Thank you guys so very much. Jebb, you teach patterns and indicators on Club DeFi. Absolutely. We teach about a ton of them. I want to add a few more videos on even more things in there. But yes, I teach about a lot of those in Club DeFi. All right. Is CT2A alum here? Is it completely down? Why can't I log in? CT2A should still be live for anybody who is who bought CT2A. Check out the links in the description box down below. Grand Roofing Incorporated. It should still be there. If not, I will have to fix that. But it should be there. Check it out. Link in the description. Right before the affiliate link for TradingView, it'll say all CT2A alumni. Please use one of these links to log into your CT2A. You may have to try both, depending on how you bought CT2A, whether one-time payment or a three-time payment. If that's not working, then something may have broken when we launched Club DeFi, and I will definitely have to get that fixed. But I think it should be working. So make sure to check that out. Okay, we have a lot of different people asking for a lot of different coins. A lot of people asking for Doge. I'm probably not sure I'm going to do Doge. I might do Doge. Let's see. A lot of Cadena, a lot of spam in the chat. That's kind of what I asked for, though. Does Club DeFi have Lux Algo strategies? Not yet, but that's something I'd actually really like to put in there. So if you do, by the way, any updates I do make to a certain course, you will get those grandfathered, just so you know. If we roll out 5 new videos for Principles of Technical Analysis one day, which that's not planned. As far as the plan is, I'm planning to update about 15 of the videos and then it's done. But I am thinking about putting a few more videos in there. If I do that, you will get access to that for no extra charge. How's the baby, Jebb? She's kicking. She's doing good in there. She's kicking a lot. A lot of people are asking for Doge. Did something happen on Doge that I didn't see? We're going to go for probably another 5 to 7 minutes or so. Yeah, Doge fell a little bit. Yeah, we'll look, we might look at Doge. I mean, all of you guys are asking about it. AVAX. A lot of people asking about AVAX. Maybe we'll look at AVAX and Doge. Let's do it. All right. I am probably going to end up getting some kind of little timer that I can put on my screen for technical, 2-minute technicals. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and kind of call it 2-minute TA. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is currently sitting at 8.612 cents. First thing that jumps out at me here is that Dogecoin right now is sitting in a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern. Just remember, guys, I have not analyzed Dogecoin in probably several weeks just because I'm not an investor in it, so I couldn't tell you exactly off the top of my head what it's going to be doing. But there's a few things that jump out at me. I'm doing this live. The first thing is that there's an inverse head and shoulders in play right now, but the shoulder line, the neckline is currently trending to the downside. The shoulder line, if we were to draw it right here, is actually kind of trending to the upside, meaning a couple of things. It means that really the market is going through a major constriction right now. It's going through a major, it's really moving together. It's kind of bolstering up as if it's about to go through a major breakout. Now, whether that moves to the upside or the downside, that would, of course, be the question. The thing to keep in mind is that Dogecoin has lost a huge amount of its value, and ever since October of last year, when the rest of the cryptocurrency market started rallying, Dogecoin nearly tripled, and now it's going through this kind of consolidation correction. If you look at this in a vacuum, this almost looks like a little miniature version of a bear market. The question I would have would be, are we going to have a major break to the downside as a result of this market moving to the downside as having a symmetrical triangle pattern, and the symmetrical triangle pattern being a continuation of the market movement that we saw moving into that pattern, which was started on November the 1st, crashes all the way down from 16 cents down to 6 cents, and then led to a major loss of funds for different people that were invested in Dogecoin? Or, on the other hand, would we see this inverse head and shoulders pattern break us to the upside, contrary to what that technical analysis may show us? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some indicators. First thing that shows up to me on the daily chart here on the MACD is that MACD is currently crossing bullish. RSI is sitting at 50, although it's sitting at 50 reluctantly, looking like it wants to fall back down through there. Taking a look at Lux Algo, we'll see that we are still under a sell signal. We can safely eliminate these 4 signals right here because this strong sell signal came into play, and it has been confirmed ever since. That's going to give me a lot of reason to believe that Bitcoin is going to continue in a strong downtrend until it actually bucks that trend. That's going to essentially tell me that Dogecoin has confirmed a strong downtrend, and it needs to do something to reverse that. To reverse that, Dogecoin would need to break up above this downtrending level of resistance, which would require us to break above 9.3 cents. If we broke above 9.3 to 9.5 cents, then I would like to see us break above this level here at 10 cents, which is a local level of resistance that we set right here on February the 4th. If we could do that, that would potentially put us high enough above the trend catcher that we can have a confirmed buy signal, and then we'd see the market start moving to the upside. Otherwise, Dogecoin is very likely to break bearish below the bottom part of the EQ cloud right here, and this rising trend line right here, breaking below 8 cents within the next week or two. Although, no matter what happens, I do think you're going to see a major movement on it soon. Okay, that was a little over 2 minutes. That's my take on Dogecoin. It's got a pretty big movement coming, I think. And if it doesn't have a pretty big movement, either bullish or bearish, that might be the worst of the options because you want to see some volatility in your favorite altcoin for it to be able to do anything. All right, we're also going to look at Avalanche. Heading on over to AVAX. Let's go ahead and get ready. Let's see here. Oh, wait. I might have a bad chart here. This is market capitalization. I need the actual chart. AVAX over Tether on Binance. That'll do. All right, let's get started. Boom. Right now, Avalanche is suffering from a huge crash that we saw last year. It rallied all the way up to $146.91 before crashing all the way down to local support around $14.92, losing nearly and almost exactly 90% of its value. Avalanche is a great project. I love the way that it splits up all of its transactions upon different types of thoroughfares to make them more efficient. But the problem is there's not that much traffic going through Avalanche, so its efficiency gains are kind of useless because there's just not that much being done on it. So it doesn't really need that high efficiency chain that it actually has, which is undermining some of the intrinsic value that it has because it just doesn't have use for that. It's like building an 18-lane highway straight through a town in the middle of the Great Plains. You just don't need all of that. Great for infrastructure, but not great for actual utility. You could have maybe invested that better somewhere else. considering the bear market. Again, not trying to knock Avalanche. What I'm looking at right now is that Avalanche has a couple of major levels. Let's just clear my chart. Avalanche is looking at a couple of major levels that it needs to break through confidently. Keyword. It first needs to break through $20.50, which is the level that we set pre-FTX collapse. After that, we have our level on the 13th of September and our level on the 7th of August. You may recognize these levels. We have the same levels on ETH. Those are these three levels right here. Looking at Avalanche, it hasn't broken through one of them. Ethereum is behind Bitcoin, and Avalanche currently is behind Ethereum. At least Ethereum has managed to rally and set a new higher high compared to what it did in January. Avalanche has not managed to do that. Instead, it has a downtrending level of resistance on its peaks right here, while we also saw a pretty major downtrending movement here on the RSI. The thing I will say that's a little bit redeemable is we're having a bullish MACD cross, and the last 7 days have been very bullish for Avalanche, and we've seen the RSI moving to the upside. The tricky thing here is that if you look at something like, let's see, if we look at something like our moving averages, I do believe, let's just see if I can come up with something. Our moving averages, yeah, actually, I take that back. I was going to say I think the moving averages might be in a bad place, but actually the moving averages just had a bullish cross. So I stand corrected on that. We just had a golden cross on the moving averages. Makes sense because we've seen that happen before. Having a golden cross on the moving averages here is indicative that we are potentially seeing a similar area like what we saw over here. The tricky thing is that Avalanche has rallied 100%. Back over here, Avalanche had rallied 500%, so this is not exactly analogous. However, Avalanche could very well get caught up in the rest of the market movement. Looking at Lux Algo, again, love Lux Algo. We did have a sell signal that got confirmed here. If I remember correctly, we did not see a confirmed sell signal come into play on Ethereum. The reason I'm comparing them so heavily is because they're very similar protocols doing something very similar, and their charts are very similar as well. Ethereum did not have a confirmed sell signal. However, Avalanche did. That indicates to me that we had a pretty deep and severe correction, and in fact we did. We saw a 26% drop, but over the last 3 days we've had a confirmed buy signal. We did bounce off of our 200 daily simple moving average here, and we also stayed above the 50 daily simple moving average here. That's wonderful. We had the golden cross. We also had the bounce off of the top of the EQ cloud, and with the strong buy signal, and with the fact that MACD's turning bullish. Overall, I would say this is a bullish chart. Overall, I would say this is a quite bullish chart, but I want to see Avalanche break through $22 confidently and rally up to at least $23 to $24 before I start saying that we are in blue sky breakout territory just yet. And also keep in mind, Avalanche is looking pretty nice, but it's also following Ethereum and Bitcoin almost identically, but it doesn't have the same growth trajectory that they do. You can see how Avalanche has been faring compared to Bitcoin and ETH relatively recently. Bitcoin is far above its January high. Ethereum is just barely above its January high. And if you look at Avalanche, it's actually lower than its January high, which means that it is the underperformer of the three, which means that maybe you could find somewhere better to make money, although it looks like it will do pretty well over the next 3 months anyway, even if you are in it rather than something else. So there you go. That's my take. I think Avalanche is looking pretty good. All right, that's going to do it for the technical analysis here. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. BK said, fantastic analysis. Well, thank you. Thank you so very much. Hey, we have NFTs now, okay? Yeah, I assume you're talking about Avalanche. I think Avalanche is a great project, by the way. Not knocking it. I think it's a great project. Having NFTs is wonderful, too. Cheaper than Ethereum. Isn't everything, though. Just about everything's cheaper than Ethereum. Elon tweeting again. That's all. There you go. All right, guys. Well, thank you so very much for tuning in. Sean Senegal said, been listening to Jebb before he showed his face. I know you have. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you very, very much. A lot of people saying amen to that verse. All right, well, guys, we are a few minutes over, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it out here. I really, really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Any final questions, go ahead and let me know now, and we'll go ahead and wrap it out. But if you guys are interested in learning more about technical analysis and learning how to do 2-minute technicals, there's nothing special about me. I'm not a genius or anything. I've done this for a long time, and you can do what I just showed you, too. You can do 2-minute technicals as well. You can learn that. It is something that I think that that just about anybody can learn. I really do believe that, but you need the education. You need to actually learn it. And that's why I created Club DeFi. That's why I created the principles of technical analysis, so that you can go and learn how to do that. So go to cryptojebb.com, check out all the different enroll now buttons, and hit Principles of Technical Analysis, sign up today, and get access to the course that is the #1 in the entire cryptocurrency industry to teach you how to do technical analysis, and I think you'll be very glad that you did. Again, if you are a Club DeFi or a CT2A alumni, whether you bought CT2A in the past or you were with Club DeFi in the previous iteration, I want you to email support@cryptojebb.com. and we will give you a personalized coupon code for CT2A alumni. You're going to get 25% off because you were so generous as to join CT2A, and now we're hoping that you'll join us for Club DeFi as well. And also for anybody who was part of the subscription program when Club DeFi was a subscriptionary model, we're going to give you a discount based on how long you had been subscribed to Club DeFi. But we need to see the list, and somebody's already done this, so we're going to get back to them here in just a little bit. We need to see the list of how many different times you paid and how much you paid into Club DeFi through the subscriptionary model, and based on that, we're going to end up giving you a discount. So make sure to email support@cryptojebb.com if you fit into one of those two categories and check it out. You can find the links down below, and you can go to support@cryptojebb.com in your Gmail or wherever, shoot us an email, and you will be solid. Make sure to check out Lux Algo as well. It's a great indicator. I find it to be very, very helpful and important. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all of our social media. You can find that stuff down below as well. We're going to go ahead and wrap it out, but before I go, Jojo said I was a subscriber. What's up, Jojo? And also Silent. Shout out to both of you. I don't think either one of you got a shout out today. And Shadrach Frost. You got a shout out because of the member chat. Am I missing anybody? No, we got a lot of new names here today. What's up, everybody? When people say to AVAX, if you please, I would love to. I already did. Thank you. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.